Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Lego Star Wars: The Complete Soccer for the DS. We're just slowly inching our way to that 100%. We got every single. We have what 147 gold bricks out of 148, and we think that
The last one is just buying.
yeah, we think the last gold brick is just buying everything in the store, so we are just messing around with Jar Jar Binks because he's OP.
Well, we need to do this anyway because we need to
Right.
buy everything. But
We
hopefully, it gets us the last gold brick. But if not, well,
basically we just need to farm a bunch of studs from levels, and we thought, a fun way to do that would be to just try to break the levels as we play through them. And unfortunately, at the end of the last episode, we soft locked.
We were messing around too much, and I got soft locked. Anyway, in the last episode, we found out that the other parts of the Camino level are stored in this central this first area of the game.
Yeah.
It just doesn't have any collision, so not anything cool you can really do there, but it's just neat fun fact.
Yeah.
That also is probably something that hasn't been done before, so probably first documented.
Right.
Discovery of that, maybe.
Speaking of bugs that have been documented for the first time, the last episode, Zach showed off a particularly interesting bug that we do not think has ever been documented.
It could be, but
it could be, but we, as far as we know, nobody knows about it until the last episode. So go check it out. Go check out the last episode if you would like to see what that bug is. It's very cool, very interesting. By the way, that canister that you just destroyed, in the console version, it gives 3,000 to 4,000 studs. It's amazing. It gives you so many studs.
I wish it gave me that many studs right now.
Yeah, that'd be great.
I need hundreds right now. Hundreds of millions.
Yeah. Yeah, the last episode we were also just talking about Star Wars lore, because we're playing Star Wars. If you want to kind of catch up with the conversation, definitely watch the previous episode, but talking about how the lore has changed and our thoughts.
Last talking about kyber crystals.
Yes, specifically kyber crystals. I won't touch on anything previously said, because you can just go watch the previous one.
Also, if you're going from one episode to the other, you might be like, okay, you just talked about this.
Yeah, right. Mainly just to summarize, talking about, our, how, personally, I disagree with how prequel appreciation is rewriting history, but I'm also I love the prequels. It's my favorite trilogy, but I'm also somebody that is not, George Lucas Star Wars is the gospel. I'm not a Disney Star Wars hater. I don't care to watch the sequel trilogy. I don't like it, but I'm not against Disney's. I'm not everything Disney Star Wars is bad, and I would say that there is just as much good Disney Star Wars as there is bad Disney Star Wars. What was I gonna say about that, though? I talked about how I think the new lore surrounding kyber crystals is more interesting than old George Lucas lore. And I talked about how I don't even think George Lucas even cared or even wrote about kyber crystals ever.
Yeah.
I think that's the case with a lot of extended universe stuff, where George Lucas only ever cared about the movies, and any sort of expansion or detail to anything in the movies was like all he cared about was telling a story. I don't even I mean George
George Foreman.
the thing about a lot of people talk about how um there's some plot holes in Star Wars, and I don't really see that a whole lot, but I don't think, I mean, George Lucas was good at, you know, continuity, but I think he really only cared about telling a story, which is fine. That's not a bad thing, but um, a lot of expanded lore of Star Wars, I don't think George Lucas ever cared about. So I think it's kind of trivial to put George Lucas Star Wars up to like this,
Pedestal.
yeah, where I think the stories that George Lucas told were better than a lot of Disney Star Wars, but in terms of like universe, I I think Disney is just as good. Um Most of the time. I will say like Jakku, which is like the desert planet from uh the sequel trilogy, is basically just Tatooine 2.0. It's like it looks just like Tatooine, and it's not very interesting. It's not a new interesting piece of like
Right.
of Star Wars universe world building, but
Boy, another sand planet.
yeah, exactly, another sand planet. That's one thing I really like about the Clone Wars, the 2008 series, is that every single planet in that series looks radically different from any other planet. Um, it's awesome. That's one of the reasons I love the 2008 series.
They just went through the doorway and died.
The 2008 series does more to expand the world building of Star Wars than any other Star Wars piece of media. No doubt about it. Is it harder to tell the difference between the blue and the purple on the screen? Yeah. I couldn't remember if that was an issue with the old screen or if it's an issue with...
I think it's the brightness and like.
Right. Um
I'm gonna fuck up his dinner table.
I completely lost my train of thought.
Okay, that's fine.
I know I was talking about Star Wars and like world building.
Speaking of like
But-
other stuff, I'm if you want to change topic if you want.
There was one thing I was going to bring up in the last episode, but I forgot. So we're this is the same session. Like we started recording
Again. Okay, I'm good.
we started recording this episode right after we finished the last one.
Yeah.
So this is still the same like day, as the previous Lego Star Wars, but when I came over, you were playing Fallout Tale of Two Wastelands.
Yes, I was playing Tale of Two Wastelands.
Which, for those who don't know, is a mod that basically injects Fallout 3 into Fallout New Vegas, making Fallout 3 playable.
Isn't it playable now though? Like, didn't they like remove the problems with it, or is that still?
I don't know. They moved games for Windows Live. I know they removed that.
I know that was a big problem.
I don't know if they fixed any of the actual crashes or anything
Right.
or performance issues, which is Fallout 3 is like the worst case scenario for pretty much any Bethesda game, which is saying a lot. Because
Like Morrowind got a remake. Fallout 3 would pretty.
You mean Oblivion?
Or Oblivion, sorry. I said Morrowind, didn't I?
Yeah. Well, it wasn't a remake, it was more of a remaster, where the remake actually...
I feel like the Fallout 3 would need that.
Well, the issue with the Oblivion remaster is that it actually introduced more bugs than it...
Really?
Because it's running on the same engine, it's running on an unmodified... I say it's unmodified, but it is modified in terms of like how it does its level scaling, but there isn't any sort of like performance improvements. All it is basically the same exact Oblivion engine with Unreal Engine 5 or 4 running on top of it. And the issue is that it introduced more bugs than the original version, in the sense that because they added Unreal Engine 5 on top of it, Unreal Engine 5 has a tendency to also crash.
Does one crash and the other keeps running or something?
No.
Oh, okay.
The whole thing crashes.
Okay, good. I'm like, that would be fucking weird if one of them's not working but the other.
Yeah, so, like, it's funny because in terms of performance and stability, the Oblivion remaster is actually a far more compromised experience than just the original Oblivion, which is hilarious that they didn't seem to try to fix any performance issues. So, like, they spend all of their time trying to make the game look pretty, and it's like, I would rather have a version of Oblivion that didn't
break,
that wasn't so laggy to the point of being nearly unplayable during the Battle of Bruma, than having a version of the game with fancier graphics. Like, so, for context, the Battle of Bruma is kind of half... I think it's over the halfway point in the main quest line. It's around the halfway point. And the thing about the Battle of Bruma is that the Battle of Bruma is meant to be this huge battle where all of these soldiers from across Cyrodiil come to defend the city of Bruma against the Daedra.
I don't know.
And, well, you don't have to know what the Daedra are. Just know that there's two massive armies that are supposed to be fighting against each other.
Okay.
And from my understanding, from my limited technical understanding of the original Oblivion engine, there is no multi-threading in the Oblivion engine, so everything runs on the same thread, meaning that multiple code executions, like what a thread means is that you basically have multiple points of execution in your program. So you can run parts of your program parallel to each other, and this is really important for games like, for example, Minecraft. If Minecraft only ran on a single thread, every single time you walked into a new chunk, the game would freeze to either generate the new chunk or load it, and then you could continue playing. Oblivion does not have that capability of multi-threading, so any sort of loading or any sort of, it would make sense if all of the NPCs, AI and stuff ran on one thread versus, the world loading and the player controlling and stuff was on a separate thread. But everything in Oblivion, from my understanding, is on just one single thread. That's not the entire reason why Oblivion is very unperformant. Are you wanting me to play?
I actually need to use
Okay.
quick, so
I'll continue when you get back, but I am going to play... Oh, what should I play? Defense of Kashyyyk. I'm going to play that one. That's a long one. That's going to give a lot of studs. And I don't think we ever brought Jar Jar to this one. So I will see what I can do. I'm pretty sure you can just... In the console version, you're able to shoot these lights, but... Looks like we're forced to use the Force. Yeah, still can't shoot them. Can we destroy them? Nope. You're able to destroy them in the console version, which you probably guessed because you're able to shoot them, but I don't know why I keep switching to Jar Jar, but maybe it's because I just love Jar Jar so much. I do like Jar Jar. He's not my favorite Star Wars character, but I like him. Yeah, the goal is to just get as many studs as we can to basically finish the game. Unfortunately, I don't think we mentioned this recently, but these score multipliers, unlike the console version, they cannot stack. You can only have one active at a time, which is a massive hindrance. Let's just quickly see what's up here. Why not? Oh, I failed. Kind of like Indoor. The tree just kind of cuts off at the top. Good, probably. Zach's back. I decided to do Defense of Kashyyyk because this is a long mission that gives a lot of studs, and I think would be interesting to check out.
Yeah, I drank way too much water. So.
Or do you want to take back over?
No, you're fine.
Okay. Whoa, did you see that? I think I can go... Is this a one-way platform? It's a one-way platform.
They put collision on the top side, but not the bottom side.
Right. So going back to Oblivion, it's not the only reason why Oblivion has performance issues, but it's a big reason why, is the fact that there's no multi-threading in Oblivion. So when you get to the Battle of Bruma, which is supposed to be like these two big armies fighting each other, first of all, in the actual game, the armies are like made up of like 9 people per army. But it's supposed to be big.
That's a pretty big army.
That was like that was the best. That was their budget. That was their processing budget for the Battle of Bruma.
9 enemies.
Yeah, 9 enemies and 9 allies. That's, you know, I can't remember for sure what the number is, but it's something like that.
Okay.
And, like, it's a very small amount of NPCs, it seems like. And even with that very small number, are you gonna put it on, yeah. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. There's 14 NPCs that are on your side.
Do you want me to throw it up on?
Yeah, throw it up on the... Yeah, right there.
I'll show the class real quick.
Yeah, that is...
Everyone.
That's everyone on your side of the battle. So you could safely assume that there's about just as many enemies, which is around, what, 28 NPCs all at once, which was... And it's funny because when you play the Battle of Bruma, it's so obvious that they're going over their budget because the game lags so badly that it's almost unplayable. And so you would think that, oh, a remastered version...
Yeah, that would be cool if they did a shit ton of enemies with that.
it's like, hey, it would be so cool if the remastered version, like, they upgraded all of the performance, you know, limits of the engine. They didn't. Now, the difference is that, the game doesn't appear to lag as bad.
However,
but the animations, like, if a character is, like, if an NPC is playing their running animation,
yeah,
the frame rate of the animation itself
will be choppy.
is dropped significantly. So they're doing, I think they're doing some sort of, like, interpolation, like, in Unreal Engine, where they're interpolating, like, the game itself is still lagging as it would be in the original, but they're able to do some type of interpolation to predict where the NPC should be, you know, on a certain frame, but for some reason they don't interpolate the animations or whatever, and the animations are laggy, and it's like, man, it would just be
Great if
it would be great
in all its glory.
It would be great if performance just wasn't an issue at all. But
alas.
But I don't want to call the Oblivion remaster a lazy remaster, because it's very obvious a lot of people put in a lot of work into it.
Whoa.
The issue is that it seems like all of the work was just getting an Unreal Engine 5 layer running on top of it and creating assets. That seems like what was done, you know,
Yeah.
and it's like, instead, if the Battle of Bruma was like, they were able to, like, upgrade the Battle of Bruma to be, like, this super crazy cool, like, battle that has a bunch of NPCs fighting each other.
That's something that can be fixed by, like, the threading issue. If that could be fixed by mods, then you could probably be able to do a larger scale Bruma mod.
I don't know how threading would be something you could change with modding. I mean,
okay.
I have a very limited understanding of, like, Bethesda modding. Like, I know the creation engine, which is what Skyrim and Fallout 4 run on. The scripting language is called Papyrus. I don't know what the capabilities of the scripting language are. I don't know how much control it gives to you.
Right.
So, and I don't know if the Papyrus scripting engine is the only sort of logical capability of, you know, modding. You know, I'm sure it's very possible that somebody has a fix for it. Somebody's figured out a fix to, like, enable multi-threading. I don't think it would be a very straightforward thing to do with mods. That is just my guess. You know, I could be totally wrong about that. But oh, this is the... Wait, is that where we came from? No, it's not. I think the Oblivion remaster is a good example of why I don't like game remasters.
Right.
Like, if you're not willing to, like,
Go
you're
the extra mile.
like you're willing to create new assets in the form of, like, textures and models and animations and stuff. So you're going to make the game look modern, but you're not going to make the game have, like, modern optimizations and design and everything, then I don't see the point in a remaster. If the game is going to feel the same way, I would just rather the game also look the same. But I like remakes because it's a new interpretation of the same source material.
Of the original.
Where when you're doing a remaster or when you're doing a remake, you're not constrained to the limits of what came before you. I think, I've never really played a Resident Evil game, but the Resident Evil series has had a major resurgence in popularity just because of its remakes. And the remakes, from my understanding, are total full remakes. They're not remasters. They're not new models on an old engine.
Yeah, two of our friends have been playing those. Well, not as of late, but I remember they were playing it late last year.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think this started because of Tale of Two Wastelands.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't even talk about why I was bringing that up.
Right.
Yeah.
Why were you bringing?
Because you were playing the Pit. Now.
Yeah.
So Tale of Two Wastelands is basically Fallout 3 injected into New Vegas, and you can play those two games in parallel.
Correct.
So you were playing the Pit in the Tale of Two Wastelands mod, and I looked at it, and keep in mind, I have not done a complete full playthrough of Fallout 3 in probably 10 years.
It's like 2015.
Yeah, probably 2014, 2015 was the last time I did like a full 100% playthrough of Fallout 3.
Right.
So I played through the Pit during that time, but I have not played the Pit since. And I looked at your screen because when I walked in, you were
It was
playing.
just showing like the background, not the background, but like the distance
Yeah,
of all of the buildings and the fire and everything.
yeah, and the sun and everything was like kind of shining light, and I recognized that it was the Pit, but I didn't remember it looking that good. And I
Yeah.
was like, do you have like
An
shaders
ENB or a
Yeah.
shader or something?
And you're like, no, this is just, and I'm like, wow, that surprises me because usually Fallout 3 and New Vegas look like complete shit, but like that actually looks
Wow,
really
Kevin,
good.
Whoa. Those are some
Don't get
fighting words.
don't get me wrong, I like the art style, but the graphical fidelity is terrible. Like, there's a lot of things about the Fallout 3 art style that I prefer over Fallout 4. But the graphical fidelity of Fallout 3 is just garbage. Not that I care that much about graphical fidelity, but when I saw, like, you being in the Pit, I was like, I can't believe you don't have a shader installed, because that looks way too good for it to be Fallout 3.
Let me see. Maybe I can pull up some just screenshots of other people. Yeah, there you go. I don't think this is...
That
That's
third
2000,
image,
that's 2009.
that third image right there is what it looked like.
This one?
Yeah, that.
Very low
But
quality, like,
It's
small. It's a small
it's a
picture.
small image, but the thing about it is that it has the bloom and everything. And I'm like, wow, that looks really good for Fallout 3. Like it looks grounded in reality somewhat.
But yeah, no. So what I'm trying to think of like all the DLCs because I played through so many. Like I played through everything. The Pit is the last DLC that I'm doing right now.
Yeah.
So there's Mothership Zeta, the Pit.
Right.
There's Broken Steel.
Operation Anchorage.
Operation Anchorage, correct. Are we missing any?
Yes, there's one that I can't think of the name. It's the one where you go to like Maryland
Point
Lookout. I couldn't remember if that was the name of the Fallout 4 DLC or the Fallout 3. Because Point Lookout and that other Fallout 4 DLC are kind of very similar.
Far Harbor?
Far Harbor, yes. Yeah. Fallout 3 has tons of content, and so does New Vegas. New Vegas has more content than Fallout 3, but Fallout 3 by itself is a huge game.
But like replaying Fallout 3 again
through Tale of Two Wastelands because the last time I played it was like I want to say like 6 years ago, 6 or 7. God, Broken Steel and the Pit are fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Those are awesome DLCs.
Yeah.
Storming the should I spoiler? Should we spoiler tag this?
We could like I'll put at the beginning
Warning,
like spoilers
I'm
for
gonna be
Fallout 3.
I'm gonna be talking about the Broken Steel DLC.
Yeah.
Storming the what is it, like a crawler? It's like a crawler that the Enclave are set up on.
That kind of like big tractor
Yeah.
track
It has like
vehicle.
the
Yeah.
treads and everything.
Yeah.
Storming that is so fucking cool.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. Like I'm like, I need to go get Broken Steel out of the way, and I'm like, oh god,
Yeah.
this is sick.
You know, I
And then I'm getting into the pit. The atmosphere is awesome in that DLC.
yeah. The only thing I hate about Broken Steel is the fact that it's a DLC and not just part of the
base game.
the base game. Like
Yeah.
I understand why that's the case because technically the story does end where it does with Fallout 3, but the fact that you can't just like you need the DLC to continue your playthrough just kind of sucks.
Yeah. Like the thing is if I were to like name like my favorite DLCs from Fallout 3, like I feel like it's weird to put Broken Steel there.
Yeah.
Because like the base game's ending, where it ends where it does, I don't know. It doesn't give as satisfying an ending as the Broken Steel DLC gives.
Yeah.
And so like it feels incomplete. And so without the Broken Steel, just like it feels broken.
Well, the thing about the end of Fallout 3 is that the main story for Fallout 3 is not about the Brotherhood of Steel.
Yeah.
It's about
It's
you,
and your father.
your dad. And so when that plot point gets wrapped up, then that's why it makes sense for Fallout 3 to end where it does. But so I don't have an issue with it like story-wise. I have an issue with it gameplay-wise.
I don't really it's not like really an issue per se, but I feel like it's not as grandiose.
Right.
And it doesn't need to be,
Yeah.
but it's kind of like an oh my god. It's kind of like an action RPG. I feel like the Broken Steel ending is like feels more in line for like an action RPG kind of ending. Where you're blowing up their crawler or whatever.
Yeah.
But narratively, Fallout 3, the base ending of the game, also is a pretty narratively satisfying end to like your character's story. But as as an action RPG type of ending,
Yeah.
I feel like it was a correct move to continue on from there.
Right.
But aside from that, Operation Anchorage, pretty fun DLC. I think that the whole like gimmick of it being like inside of a simulation is pretty sick.
Right.
And then the pit. I like the atmosphere of that one, and also the moral dilemma of the story.
Yeah.
I don't think I had as much of a Mothership Zeta and Point Lookout are ones that like didn't really get me, you know? I don't like those ones as much.
Mothership Zeta is a very weird one. It's really, I feel like its only existence is to just give you like cool items. That's really the only reason it exists.
Like the alien guns and stuff.
Yeah. That being said, I have not played it in 10 years, so a lot of it I do not remember. But there was something I was going to say about What was it? There was something I was gonna say, I think, about...
The ending of Fallout 3? Or
Yes, the
Broken
ending of Fallout 3. So, have you ever heard the claim that Todd Howard made, saying that right now they, like, this was during development of Fallout 3, and he said, right now we're at about 200 unique endings.
What?
Yeah.
What are you counting as an ending?
It's like, so did you, like, cut 198 of those endings? Because Fallout 3 has, like, 2 possible endings. It's really stupid. And
what is it? Poison? Like you put the FEV in the water? Or not it's not FAV. It's like something that kills those infected with FEV. That the President Eden gives you.
Yeah.
And then the other ending is just like the one where you don't do anything, you just turn on the water purifier and it purifies the water.
Yeah.
What other endings, Todd? What other endings?
Yeah, so I'm sure you've heard of, like, the thing of Todd Howard lies and, like, tell me lies, you know, tell me sweet little lies.
Yeah.
That's one of the things that mainly stems from, is Fallout 3 has over 200 endings. And the fact that, or him claiming that Skyrim has infinite quests, which it doesn't have infinite quests.
Does it have, like, repeatable quests?
Yes.
Kind of like Preston Garvey?
Yes, it has Radiant quests.
Radiant quests. Thank you, that's the word for it.
Which are not infinite quests. And I will say that Todd Howard has gotten better at not just flat out lying.
I want to be in, like, the creative room when, like, they were I want to see the reaction to him saying, like, the claim 200 endings, like, just the shock and awe they probably had, like, dude, what are you talking about?
Yeah, I will say that usually now, like, as with the case with Fallout 4,
those are infinitely spawning, by the way.
Yeah, they do.
And they don't drop anything. So.
They do in the console version. They're infinitely... And it's worse in the console version because they don't stop shooting at you. But I feel like with Fallout 4 and 76 and Starfield, there wasn't just a completely, like, completely disprovable lie that was told about those specific games that was just so outrageous. Like, yeah. Fallout 3 has 200 endings. Now, don't get me wrong. What he does is that he takes things, like, sensationalizes things that don't really matter. Like, oh, Fallout 76 has 16 times the detail. Like, that doesn't really mean anything.
How do you quantify that?
Yeah. But he, you know, he's not saying, like, now, of course, Fallout 76 and, you know, Starfield are very unpopular games, but
Starfield?
I feel like it has less to do with anything that Todd Howard said and more to do with just how the game itself.
I haven't heard anything about Starfield in forever.
That's because, like, no one cares about it. there's like 300 people in the entire world that care. I mean, I'm exaggerating, but seriously, it's a game that everybody forgot about just because of how boring and just non-compelling it is.
There's like 2,000 people playing it. In the past 24 hours, the peak was 3,871 people.
24-hour peak, 3,871. Look at the 24-hour peak for Skyrim and Fallout 4. Skyrim Special Edition, specifically.
Skyrim Special Edition is 21,000.
21,000. There is...
7 times.
There are 7 times more people playing Skyrim Special Edition than Starfield. And Fallout 4, 14,000. 14,000 people playing Fallout 4.
400 playing. Yeah, Fallout 3 is not.
Well, that's because Fallout 3 is
does not work.
unplayable.
New Vegas is 4,200, but people could be playing it through like a launcher as well.
Yeah,
But
right.
it's still up there. It's still more than Starfield.
The funny thing is that Microsoft and Bethesda were really hoping for Starfield to be like this big modding, like create like decade
Creation
long
Club, like you guys give us stuff that we can put on the Creation Club store.
Exactly. Like they wanted Starfield to be this like decade long game like Skyrim has been, where they can sell like paid mods and stuff, and it's just that's not happened with Starfield because the base game is so boring. Like in order for people to want to mod a game, the game has to be interesting. And Starfield is probably the most uninteresting Bethesda game that exists. And I hate to say that because I was really excited for Starfield, and then when I played it for like 29 hours, and I'm like, wow, this game actually sucks.
I think one like complaint that I saw was like just like the writing for the quests.
Yes.
Because I think I saw like one like example that was like comparing like similar plot points in Starfield and Cyberpunk, where you were trying to like get a deal on something, or like trying to like get like pick up something from like a person or whatever, and the deal goes wrong, kind of thing.
Yeah, I played that.
And it was comparing Starfield and Cyberpunk and the way that they handled it. The Starfield one, everything is like so kind of like bland,
yeah,
and how it's like the story is presented and how the dialogue is, and in Cyberpunk it was showing like just how varied and I don't know.
Yeah.
Did you just die from fall damage? And like the actors are really getting into the roles in the Cyberpunk version of the.
I did not complete the main quest line in Starfield. I got very far into it. And I'm not going to say what happens, but I got to the big twist.
I don't know what the twist is.
I won't explain it just for people that, because it is still a relatively new game, and I'm just like...
You don't want to ruin it for them.
Yeah, but I got to the big twist, and I saw what the twist was, and I'm like...
Close the game.
I stopped playing, because I was like, I don't care what happens after this. I don't care. It's not interesting. Like, it's seriously... Like, this was the last thing that I wanted out of this game. And so we have a mutual friend whose name is also Zach. And before I got to the big twist, he had played and finished Starfield.
Yeah.
And he was telling me how
good the twist is?
No.
Oh, how bad it was.
Yes. And he was saying...
sorry.
Well, he didn't say it was a bad twist, but he said how it negatively affected the gameplay.
Oh.
I disliked the twist for story reasons. I thought it was just stupid and shitty.
Oh, okay.
The only thing that I thought was interesting about it was...
Narratively?
I had romanced a follower.
Okay.
Something happened to that follower sometime in the quest line.
Okay.
And then during the twist, something changed to where that thing that happened to the follower kind of nullified in a way, but also didn't at the same time. And it was a really cool philosophical question. That's the only good thing I have to say about the twist in Starfield, and people who have played it will know exactly.
That's not good.
That is the people who have played Starfield will know exactly what I mean by that, where it brought up a really interesting, like, complex for my character that I was role-playing as, but in terms of, like, where the story was going after that,
You don't.
That
You
I
could-
did
you
not
couldn't
give a
care-
shit.
You couldn't care any less.
I couldn't, because I knew exactly where it was going. I knew exactly how it was going to end after that point. So
Right.
I'm like, I know how it's going to end. I don't care. And when I looked up how it ended, I was like, that is exactly what I was thinking was going to happen.
And that's
And
so dumb.
and that is when I realized that this game did not, like, Starfield does not respect your time. And so our mutual friend, Zach, he was talking about how the twist in the story negatively affects gameplay. So, and what he meant by that is, you know how Starfield, there's a system where you're building ships, you're building your own ships, and you're building your own, like, settlements on planets for mining
Does it just
and
destroy
resource.
all of them?
It destroys everything that you built, including all your ships.
What the fuck's
and
the
it's
point?
like, exactly, what is
What
the
fuck
point?
is the point of doing all
What
of that
is
then in the first place if you're not gonna, like, let that stay?
Exactly. So, and that's another example of how Starfield does not respect your time. It's like, you put in all of this time and effort to build this, like,
So are you
mining
supposed to, like,
facility,
are you supposed to, like, play up until that point of the game, not
and then
that,
then stop progressing the main quest line. That's what you're supposed to do.
That's
If you
so
you
dumb.
you can't have it both ways. You can't build.
Why does that one need force? What?
I don't know. I was thinking the exact same
Like,
thing.
all of these other ones, you've been able to just self-build, but that one specifically, you need to...
So, imagine Fallout 4, which has a big emphasis on settlement building.
Yeah.
Imagine
You got to, like, the Institute, and it blows up.
It blows up every single settlement you spend hours building. That is exactly what happens in Starfield.
So,
but
that's
it happens
so cool. Thank you, Bethesda.
It happens to every single ship you build and every single outpost you build on any planet that exists.
I don't want anyone to try to play that game now.
It is the worst Bethesda game I've played.
Why would like, knowing that, why would I ever want to play it if it's just gonna just, like,
And-
blow up everything?
But
No
you
point.
but you have the option. You either progress the main quest line or you keep everything you built. Up to
So you can't finish the game.
You can't have it both ways. You can't finish the game and keep everything that you built.
Oh my god.
It is, but the good
What
thing
the hell?
the good thing is that when you get to that point,
Okay.
you will know. You will know when you get to that point. So
Will
it's
you
not
know
like,
before you blow up everything, or
yes, that's what I mean
Okay.
when I say you will know when you get to that point.
You'll know because everything will be gone.
You will know when you get to that
Okay.
point because it's obvious, but it's just absolutely insane. So a lot of people are going to, like, highly disagree with me on this, but one reason why I don't like Souls-like games is because I don't feel like they respect my time, because in order to progress I have to spend hours perfecting a certain boss and fighting it and dying over and over, and in some extreme cases when you die to a boss or die in a certain area, you get sent back so far to where you have to spend just 20 extra minutes just getting back to where you were. And
this is why I will be playing Dark Souls for this channel.
yes. So that is the reason why I don't like Souls-like games, because I don't feel like they respect my time.
Oh, does that extend to, like, you said Souls-like, does that extend to, like, Jedi
No,
Survivor?
no. It's
Fallen
mainly a
Order?
difficult. It's mainly a
Okay.
skill. It's mainly a skill issue with
Okay.
me. But because I'm not somebody who cares about being the absolute best at a game,
Yeah.
or whatever. It does not.
It's deleting your studs when you're doing.
I know.
like, multiple.
I just realized that. It does not respect my time. Mainly, but I mean, it will respect other people's time who care about that stuff. But
Yeah.
personally, for me, it does not respect my time. Starfield is a game. It doesn't matter.
It will
what
respect
kind-
your time up until a point.
It doesn't matter what kind of gamer you are. Starfield does not respect your time. Period. Like, it's it is the most batshit insane game design I've ever seen. And the thing is, the biggest, that's not even my biggest issue with Starfield, though. My biggest issue with Starfield is that is the ship building. Because you know what
you don't like... So it not only is it bad in that at a certain point it destroys all your ships and everything, but building those ships is also a pain in the ass.
It's... Building the ships isn't a pain in the ass. It's the fact that when you build a ship, you're not building a ship, you're building a glorified loading screen. There is no reason to make a cool ship in Starfield, because the only time when you're not using your ship to fast travel is in the instance where you have some random encounter where a pirate is wanting to destroy your ship or like board or whatever, and that's the only time. And it's like, I'm like, Jesus, like, the outpost, building the outpost.
The thing is I know you want it, like if you're just tuning into this, you might not know this, but like leading up to Starfield and like I believe playing a bit of it, I remember Kevin was super excited.
I was so excited.
Kevin like was way more excited for this than like anything else at the time, and
I will say,
like hearing just like how bad it is. Oh my god!
I want to clarify that I am somebody who doesn't get my hopes up.
Whoa, hey.
Wow. Whoa. Let's try that again. It seems like it stops doing it at a certain point.
Oh, damn.
But you see how that this like escape pod was like going in and out of existence.
Right.
So I want to say that I did not have high hopes for Starfield. I was excited because I was excited about the prospect of what it could be.
Like a new IP.
A new IP, and the fact that this is the first, single-player Bethesda RPG since Fallout 4.
Fuck, Fallout 76. Why is it multiplayer? I want to play single player.
And, I
Darth
was
Vader
just...
is stuck over there.
But
He's not following you anymore.
After Fallout 76, I learned to temper my expectations for Bethesda games and games that, and especially after Halo Infinite came out, I learned to temper my expectations for all games. And so I didn't have high hopes for Starfield, so I wasn't, incredibly disappointed because I didn't have those expectations. I was excited about the prospect of what Starfield could be.
And it did not live up to those expectations.
Yes. but I want to make it I'm frustrated that Starfield is the game it is, but I'm not disappointed.
Uh-huh.
I want to make that very clear. Those are two very different emotions. 89.6, God. But Starfield is a game that I cannot recommend to anybody. And the player count on Steam is about what I expected. It's just... It's not a great experience. Which...
It's like that SpongeBob meme. You used to be so happy.
Yeah.
Shows them Fallout 3, the pit.
Is this for me?
I brought some snacks into the room. I think that might be something we could have. I was figuring you could look at it and double check, but I think that might be something that we can have.
Yeah, it's fine. It has milk in it, but it's not big enough for me to...
It's not big milk.
Yeah. It's lactose intolerance. You can usually get away with eating a little bit. But yeah, Starfield is just very well. I think one of the reasons I'm really frustrated with it is that it is the closest Bethesda game we have had to something like Daggerfall.
I've never played Daggerfall.
Now I say that in a very loose way.
Daggerfall, I'm joking.
I do enjoy Daggerfall, but I say that very loosely because clearly Daggerfall has a lot more simulation. Oh, are you looking for the stylus? I had it on the table here.
Where'd it go? Okay, well, did it fall on the floor? Did you eat it?
I didn't eat it.
It was with the fruit snacks I gave you.
Well, let me get up.
Well, that's not good. I mean, I can do it without the stylus.
Oh, it's under my phone.
Oh, okay.
I don't know how that happened.
You want to put it...
I leave it out because it takes too long to get it out of the DS.
You're just inexperienced.
I am. But Starfield has a gigantic open world that it's procedurally generated the same way that Starfield's is, where everybody who plays Daggerfall or Starfield uses the same seed. So everybody's procedurally generated world is the same, but it's still procedurally generated.
I see.
The thing about Daggerfall.
The thing about Oblivion.
The thing about Daggerfall is that the fast travel and just the world, the procedurally generated world itself, is a much more interesting system than what Starfield has.
Right.
I
figured we would do like other stuff other than like a full level because of how much time is left in the episode.
Oh yeah, we're already almost an hour into it.
But like talking about going back to like Fallout 3, like the DLCs for that. Like generally the DLCs are pretty like I enjoy them much better than some of this. I like some of the serious tones in some of my and like the things I like about Fallout are more of the serious ones, and so like some of the goofier stuff is not as much up my alley. Like some people might like it, but it's less so my favorite type of content in them. I don't know the best way to describe what I'm talking about, but I guess like the Mothership Zeta, it's more zany. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
And like, I feel like the other ones are a little bit more grounded in like sci-fi, like not sci-fi like grounded in sci-fi, but more in like it's
what
more in
could
vein of
exist?
like in like an apocalyptic scenario.
Right.
There's not gonna be like aliens kind of thing, you know.
Well, I
mean, there could be, but
I like Mothership Zeta in the way that you're absolutely right. Like you don't really associate Fallout with you don't associate post-apocalypse with aliens, right? Most of the time.
I mean, you could
do
a post-apocalyptic alien story, but
in a post-apocalyptic nuclear setting, you don't really associate aliens.
That's
with
not like the first thing that comes to mind. So it's like,
I think where Mothership Zeta fits in, though, is the fact that Fallout 3, in particular, now every Fallout game is like this, but Fallout 3 is the strongest in this sense, where Fallout 3 is based on, like, mid-century sci-fi, like retro sci-fi, like 1950s, 1960s, 1940s sci-fi, mid-century, where like the alien designs in Mothership Zeta and all that stuff, they look like I mean, straight up, the aliens in Mothership Zeta look like the Roswell aliens. And, you know, the Roswell incident was like, what, the 1950s? And so, Mothership Zeta keeps with Fallout 3's particular, like, mid-century retrofuturism in sci-fi. Like, think, and we talked about this in a previous episode of Circuit Horde, I don't know what series, but we were talking about how I don't necessarily prefer one Mirelurk design over the other.
Yeah.
Because the Fallout 3 design
one is like a
looks like a sci-fi horror 1950s film monster versus the one in Fallout 4 looks like one that is actually more realistic.
From an irradiated animal.
It looked like exactly. Fallout 4's Mirelurk looks more like an actual mutated version of a crab or whatever versus Fallout 3's design looks like it comes out of a mid-century horror sci-fi film.
Jesus Christ.
Wow.
Did you see that?
Yeah, I did. I think Mothership Zeta's the same way, where Mothership Zeta, Mothership Zeta is less about Fallout's post-apocalyptic side and more about, like, Fallout 3's more McCarthy, 1950s retrofuturism side.
I also got the end of it. I didn't realize this hadn't ended. And I got like shit ton of studs at the end.
That's awesome.
But yeah, generally I like where it leans the series where it leans more into the post-apocalyptic nature and less so
sci-fi in general.
The sci-fi.
Yeah.
And so like I said before, that's also why I like the Broken Steel and the Pit more so than Mothership Zeta and Far Harbor. Because Point Lookout is because like Point Lookout, if I remember correctly, it has a lot of like supernatural elements to it.
Yeah.
Instead of like
that's
instead of like sci-fi and like futuristic post-apocalyptic, it's more so like leaning into like your character is like I believe in one point you're going through the swamp while tripping like on some sort of plant.
Yeah. I agree.
And so like it's like that's cool, not the type of content that I would be the main target for. Like
yeah.
I enjoyed it. It's not my favorite of the DLCs. And so looking towards like Fallout New Vegas's DLCs, I don't think I guess Old World Blues would be the one that immediately comes to mind because it leans heavily into trying to be like a funny DLC.
Yeah.
So a lot of the time I'm like, okay, wrap it up. You can't jump that, dang.
I agree. Like, if I had to... Well, I think most people would probably say this, where Point Lookout would be their least favorite Fallout 3 DLC. For multiple reasons. Like, it's kind of... The gameplay is just kind of insane at times, but 2, the supernatural aspect of it, where... I would view Star Wars, for example, as an action-adventure story that happens to take place in a sci-fi universe, and like Fallout, I think, is a sci-fi universe that happens to be post-apocalyptic. Like, the main feature of Fallout, in my opinion, is the sci-fi aspect. And
with like their plasma and laser guns and stuff like that.
Right. And the power armor and stuff like that. You know, the post-apocalyptic the post-apocalypse is the setting, but it's really science fiction. And have you seen any of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movies?
Which ones?
The original 3 and the 2007 animated movie?
Probably, but I don't remember it because if I watched it, it was when I was a child.
So, if you are familiar with TMNT, it is 100% absolutely science fiction. Because it's mutants that live in the sewer in New York City. I mean, it's science fiction, and they go into explaining how the turtles mutated and stuff like that.
Did you know that way off topic, but like still on topic? Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is in the same universe as Marvel.
I didn't know that. I would have expected
like it's made by different people, but the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles are made by the ooze that made them into the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was the same toxic waste that blinded Daredevil. And Daredevil, his teacher was Stick, and the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, their master is Splinter.
That's weird because I would have expected DC, because DC has actually had crossover films with TMNT.
That is true. That is true. Yeah, you bring up a very valid point.
Batman versus TMNT. That's like a animated, thing, animated movie. But this is insane.
That's why I was doing
this. Is this the end?
Yeah,
is this the end?
It just gives you a shit ton of money.
That's amazing. Okay, so talking about like TMNT, sci-fi, mutants.
Yes.
Ooze, secret of the ooze. They explain how
I feel like you're trying to sell me on. You're like, and the ooze.
But TMNT is straight up sci-fi. I mean, that is the pillar stone. Like, I would say, it's also more action. It's more superhero action adventure.
Oh, it's 5,000.
5,000, Jesus.
I thought it was less than that. I'm gonna go do the General Grievous one a couple more times while we're discussing.
So, it's TMNT is like this superhero action adventure that has a sci-fi setting, essentially. So, the third Ninja Turtles movie, so you have the original, I can't remember what year it came out, but I think 1991, the first Ninja Turtles movie, the live action, and then you have Ninja Turtles 2, Secret of the Ooze, which is like, both the first and the second movie are so good. They're but they're very different. Like, a lot of people prefer the first movie over the second. A lot of people prefer the second movie over the first. Mainly because they're very different in tone. But then you have the third movie. And most people heavily dislike the third movie. Because it's just weird. Where the third movie is... So, the second movie really goes into the sci-fi aspects of the Ninja Turtles, where, it's the secret of the ooze. It goes into the origins of the Turtles, and, and Shredder...
That's not everyone's cup of tea.
Well, I would say Secret of the Ooze is just about everybody's cup of tea. Like, Secret of the Ooze.
Well, you're saying it goes.
I was saying
it sounded like you're saying that people didn't like it because of that.
I was talking about the third movie, which doesn't have like a name. It's just Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3.
Okay, cool.
So the second movie really goes into the sci-fi aspects, where you see like a laboratory, a scientific laboratory, and at the beginning of the movie you see this giant dandelion that's been mutated, and all this stuff.
Yeah.
And then you have vanilla.
Spoilers
You
for
have
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles as well as Fallout.
right. Let's go ahead and put that out there. I haven't said anything that would be spoily so far, but I will. But you in the second movie, you also have like Vanilla Ice.
And sorry, and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, they fight what is it, the Foot Clan? Right?
Yeah. Yes.
And for Daredevil, he's fighting a gang known as the Fist.
Right.
Just because I remembered that just now that I.
That's interesting.
But like it was inspired by, like entirely inspired by Daredevil with their origin and the name for the groups.
But another thing about, like, if you're familiar, and when I say you, I mean people who are watching, because you probably haven't seen the 1987 animated series, like the original
Probably not, I don't think.
TMNT was first a graphic novel comic series, but it was adapted into like the 1987 cartoon, which is what popularized it. And the 1987 animated series is just 100% sci-fi. There's like aliens and interdimensional beings, and so it's all sci-fi. Now, the issue that people have with the third movie, the third live action movie, is how it touches on supernatural aspects, where the Ninja Turtles, they find this like holy scepter that takes them back to like feudal Japan.
Okay.
And it's like, okay, yeah, sure, time travel. Like, okay, maybe that's sort of sci-fi, but it's presented in a supernatural sense.
Yeah.
And overall, the third Ninja Turtles movie, like, I wouldn't not recommend it. I think it's still worth watching, but it's just not that great.
Right.
Especially comparative, and when you compare it to the first and the second movie. Now, the animated movie from 2007, which is just called TMNT, now, that is a good movie. Like, the animated TMNT movie, pretty much every Ninja Turtles fan will say, yeah, that's a great movie. But it also touches into the supernatural.
Okay. I'll buy it.
And
what how does it delve into the supernatural?
So the kind of the main character that is so the TMNT, that movie has like Casey Jones and April O'Neil and like all of the it doesn't have Shredder or the Foot Clan.
Shredder!
But it has all of the good main characters, and it's also important to point out that it is the fourth movie, because it continues. It continues off of the live action movies. So it is the fourth movie, but the reason it's not called TMNT 4 is because it was kind of a reboot.
Yeah.
Even though it acknowledged all the things that happened in the previous ones. So the way it goes into the supernatural is that this is going to be spoilers, by the way, for TMNT.
Big time spoilers.
The main character that is introduced for the first time in this movie, that isn't, like somebody that we know previously, like April O'Neil or Casey Jones or whatever. I can't remember his name, but it's revealed at a point in the movie, and this is spoilers, that he is immortal.
Oh, fuck.
And he has lived for thousands of years. And the reason why he can't die is because I can't remember exactly, but there's something that's not fulfilled Oh, it's because there's these monsters that are still alive, and he can't die without the monsters being defeated. Because he's like the only thing that stands between them and like
Oblivion.
yeah. So
Okay.
he's like the only. I think he's like the only one that can defeat like these monsters.
And
So
who did you say this was that can't die?
it's this guy that's in. I can't remember his name, but it's a new.
to that.
It's a character specific to the movie, and he's a good guy. Like but it's also there's kind of I think I haven't seen it in forever, but the movie kind of also is like, oh, is he really a good guy? Because he's doing some shady stuff that you don't understand until later on why he's doing it. So, and when it's revealed, then he's like absolved of any
Of his sins.
right. So, eventually, the monsters are defeated and whatever, and there's that moment, kind of like if you remember Shrek, where when when at the wedding between Fiona and Lord Farquaad, and the sun sets, and then she like gets lifted up into the air, and like light comes out of her eyes, and like there's sparkly stuff, and she turns into an ogre. The same thing happens to that new character.
Okay.
in this Ninja Turtles movie when like his like role has been fulfilled. He's like, finally I can die, and then he he turns into sparkly fairy dust, and I'm like, I don't like that. Like that's not. I feel like that doesn't fit into Ninja Turtles, but
into like his lore as a character.
Not in. Well, it makes sense
or
for
not
him.
His lore as a character, but like it's not satisfying to you as the watcher.
It's not satisfying to me in the sense that I feel like it doesn't fit into Ninja Turtles.
I see.
That being said, fantastic movie, because other than that, every single aspect of that movie is perfect. Like, Leonardo and Raphael get into this big fight, like this big argument.
As they do.
But like it's the worst that you've ever seen. Because I won't go into it, but basically what happens,
who is right?
I think what happens is that Raphael thinks that he acts like he killed Leonardo because they get into a fight. And Raphael thinks that he killed Leonardo and didn't actually mean to, and he gets really upset, and he returns to Splinter, and they all think Leonardo's dead or something, and it's like really heavy and like just amazing character development. And another interesting aspect about I'm gonna call it TMNT4 because that's what it is. But when I say that, know that I'm referring to the 2007 animated movie. The fourth movie, like, because Shredder was.
Should we say this for another episode? By the way,
We've
been on the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle tangent for a while. I just wanted to make sure you wanted to.
But we're nearing the end of the Lego Star Wars series, so it doesn't matter. If we go over an hour, it's not that big of a deal. But so spoilers for the second Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie. By the way, Secret of the Ooze, spoilers for that one. Shredder is defeated and killed at the end of that movie, which is the Ninja Turtles antagonist, straight up. Now, what I find strange is that they don't have some of the other antagonists from the animated series, can't remember his name. The guy the alien that looks like a brain that's inside of that guy. Like, I don't know why they didn't make a movie around that. They just didn't, but
didn't feel like it.
I can't remember his name. They kind of have Bebop and Rocksteady, sort of, in the second movie because,
I can hear fireworks in the background. It is very close to the 4th of July.
yeah, we're 2 days away from July 4th.
So people are launching fireworks outside. If you can hear that, I'm not sure if you can, but if you can, that's what that loud noise was.
So for people who don't know who Bebop and Rocksteady are, in the animated series, they are Rocksteady. Both Bebop and Rocksteady were henchmen that Shredder had because the Foot Clan specializes in just stealing, like they're thieves. They're like a thieves guild.
Yeah.
So they're like this thieves guild in New York City that just steals valuable things from everybody. And Bebop and Rocksteady were they were like these henchmen kind of thieves that were not ninjas, but were part of the Foot Clan. And in the animated series, they get mutated, and one turns into like this mutant pig or hog, and the other one turns into like this mutant lizard.
Right.
And they kind of do that in Secret of the Ooze, where they have, but they're not Bebop and Rocksteady. They're two mutated
side characters.
Yes, they don't have names, and they're in the same vein of Bebop and Rocksteady, but they weren't originally humans like Bebop and Rocksteady were. These two mutated animals are just animals, and one is a dog, I think, and the other one is a turtle. And so they're kind of in the same vein as Bebop and Rocksteady, but not exactly. So they kind of do that. They kind of explore that in the movies, but not really at the same time. And so anyway, the point I'm trying to get at is at the end of the Secret of the Ooze, Shredder and the Foot Clan are defeated. They're not coming back.
So they have, like, they could have did Bebop and Rocksteady, but they didn't introduce them. So
and they could have done some of the other antagonists, because Shredder and the Foot Clan was not the only antagonist for the Turtles.
Yeah.
They had others, and but for some reason in the third movie they decided to go back to feudal Japan to fight this. It's so weird because it feels like it's not a Ninja Turtles movie, and Ninja Turtles characters are just injected into this story, and that's what it feels like. Versus the fourth...
So they feel out of place in their own movie.
Right.
Is the problem.
Where it's like, instead of having like this supernatural scepter that takes them back to feudal Japan where they have to fight this English colonizer that's trying to take over Japan, why not just have them fight one of the other villains from the animated series? Like, I don't get what...
Exist.
Yeah. Like, you don't have to write any new characters, but it feels like the reason they did that is because they had a script, and they were like, let's turn it into a Ninja Turtles movie. And that's what it feels like.
Oh, no.
The fourth movie... You can't... The thing about the fourth movie is that you would be inclined to say the same thing, just except for the fact that the Turtles actually go through major character development that only makes sense because they are the Ninja Turtles. Like, Raphael and Leonardo go through this massive character development that's amazing, and is the main reason why that movie is so good. Or is as good as it is. But it still goes into supernatural stuff that just feels out of place.
I feel like this like this all spurned from the Point Lookout.
Yeah.
So supernatural, but I feel like Far Harbor also did the same thing. Don't you also have like an acid trip kind of thing? Because when you go to the like not the Children of Adam, but the group that's
It is the Children of Adam,
it is
I
Children
think.
of Adam?
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, I think, well, the main, I think Far Harbor is less offensive in that sense because the main story, the main, like, conflict around Far Harbor is the fact that you find this synth, this, like, Gen 1 synth who
yeah.
is basically a supercomputer, and that whole story is...
I think that's such a cool...
Yeah.
Okay, the minigame, not a big fan. The character...
Oh, the
and
mini...
all that,
Yeah.
like, what is it, like a tower defense kind of minigame, isn't it?
Yeah, tower.
And it's
a
so
tower.
slow. It is so slow.
Yeah. I feel like I'm the one of the only people that actually enjoyed that.
like okay, it would be funner. Funner is not a word.
More fun.
It'd be more fun if if I wasn't like, okay, I solved the puzzle and I'm like sitting there for like 2 minutes like watching these little tiny fucking bugs slowly make their way to get fucking caramelized by the laser beam.
Yeah.
I would like I want to get to the next level of the puzzle kind of thing, you know?
Yeah.
Like it's not like a problem with the puzzle for me. It's more of like a, all right, I get it. I've completed your puzzle. Can I go on to the next section?
Yeah.
Like you don't have to make it this slow.
Yeah, I see why people dislike it. Personally, I enjoyed my time with it, but I definitely see how most people would dislike it, but it
For various reasons.
the Children of Adam aspect of Far Harbor, yes, is supernatural to a degree, but like the aspect you see, like the ghost or whatever,
yeah,
isn't that brought on because you're heavily irradiated? Or am I just misremembering?
I think they give you something.
Yeah.
I think they give you something, and it like fucks with your head.
Yeah.
Or no, wait. You go into the forest and you drink like heavily irradiated water. I think, right?
Right.
Is that what it was? We haven't.
I don't know.
I haven't played this in a minute.
I haven't played Far Harbor since it originally came out.
Okay.
So
I haven't played it like a little bit for the fact, but I think it was like 2017, 2016, something like that.
I don't think I have played Far Harbor since 2016 when it came out.
I when I played it, it had been out for a little bit, but
Yeah.
like not for very long. I forgot when.
I
Because I wasn't there.
When it came out, I immediately started playing it because I had finished the main quest line. So by that point,
I like Bar Harbor. I did not. I like Maple World was kind of iffy.
I didn't. I actually. So I had
I never finished it, is what I mean, because like it didn't hold my attention enough to finish it.
I had the season pass for Fallout 4, so I got all the DLCs for I had to pay for it, but
like they came out and you got them immediately.
the thing is that Bethesda didn't announce how many DLCs they were doing.
No, they did too. Right, or there was also the robot one.
They did Automaton. They did Nuka World. They did Far Harbor, and then they did a bunch of like settlement building DLCs.
Okay.
And it turns out that if you got the season pass, you actually paid less for all of if you were to instead pay for all of them individually. So,
Cool.
but you could only pre-order the season pass, you couldn't like buy it afterwards.
Oh.
And that was before I had a no pre-order policy. So I pre-ordered games. Because at that point...
How shameful.
At that point, every single game I pre-ordered, I enjoyed. So I didn't see a problem with pre-ordering.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
So... Fallout 4 was the last game I pre-ordered that I thought was... that I enjoyed. I did pre-order Cyberpunk 2077. The only reason I haven't enjoyed that game is because I haven't played it all the way through.
I want to play it on the channel.
The reason
One of us.
Oh snap, score times 10.
We got it. That's a big one out of the way.
When I originally started playing, what's it called? Cyberpunk.
We should not go into Cyberpunk.
Okay.
We'll get to that.
Can I just finish my thought?
Yes.
And then, because this is probably the last LEGO Star Wars episode we're recording for tonight.
Yeah.
And then it wouldn't make sense for us to continue this conversation on a Pokemon episode.
Yeah, that's true.
But,
because then they wouldn't know.
Right. But the reason I didn't play Cyberpunk, even though I pre-ordered it, and I regret pre-ordering it. I absolutely do. But the reason I didn't play it is because I started playing it, and I played it for about 10 hours, and every single time I played it, it would give me a migraine.
Ooh.
And so I'm like, I'm gonna wait, and I played it on launch, and there were bugs and everything, and I'm like, I'm not going to touch this game again until they fix it, and then I will give it another try.
I like games with bugs.
The thing with Cyberpunk is that
there were bad bugs.
Yes, there were bad bugs. Cyberpunk.
By the way, like, pretty much everything is not everything. Like the story quests and everything are different, but like they changed so fucking much about the game.
Yeah.
The whole leveling system, like all of the different like skills and everything.
Yeah.
Completely swapped out and revamped. Everything's from the base is gone.
So I'm very interested in what your thoughts are when we get to that.
Now, when I pre-ordered Cyberpunk, I was going against my anti-pre-order policy, and I wish I didn't. And it what was I going to say about that, though? Yeah, Cyberpunk on launch gave me a migraine every single time I played it. And I'm like, I'm going to wait until it's fixed. And
then you never got back to it.
I never touched it again. And I should have, but I didn't.
But now, I think also, I don't know if this is the case, but for me, like with a lot of games that I want to play now, I'm like, I should play it with you on the channel. Yeah. I don't know if that's the case for Cyberpunk.
I don't know what it was about Cyberpunk that gave me a migraine, because I play VR games just fine.
Okay.
And I don't know why specifically Cyberpunk was giving me migraines, but it was. Anyway, we should really wrap up this episode, so...
We went on a TMNT rant.
But,
that I didn't really... Like, I haven't watched that one, so...
But, you know, the good thing...
What's that?
Is that because...
You went on a rant.
We went on tangents, we progressed far more through the game.
10 times multiplayer.
So anyway, to actually wrap it up this time, thanks for watching. If you liked the video, please like and subscribe and
what's your
comment.
Favorite Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles character?
Yeah, are you a TMNT fan? You know, let us know in the comments below, and we'll probably play some Ninja Turtles games. I'm sure we will. Thanks for watching, and see ya.